Aloha, and welcome to Shinnyo Lantern Floating, Hawaii. On Memorial Day, this beach would usually be filled with thousands of people, each present to honor their loved ones by dedicating and placing lanterns in the ocean. The global pandemic changed all that. And while we could not safely convene since 2019, we are hopefully, carefully getting back to the community gathering that we all love. But we're not quite there yet. We're all suffering from some form of trauma. Certainly the pandemic and our own life experiences have caused much of that. But our hearts are also heavy from war, racism, and lives needlessly lost to gun violence. And while we can't expect a half-hour show to heal this trauma, maybe our time together tonight can give us a moment to pause, to appreciate those who love and support us, to consider acts of kindness that bring joy to others and ourselves, and to honor those who have come before us, to find hope and perhaps start to heal. Tonight, there won't be a stage on the beach, but there will be stories of love and aloha. We'll receive a hula that speaks of the love and kindness that flows from each of us, like water from the mountains nourishing the sea. We'll attend a live ceremony from Japan that may inspire us to act for the sake of others. We'll bear witness to ceremonial lanterns that hold prayers of peace, hope, and love for all humanity. And we will experience a few people dedicating and floating lanterns at an interactive experience at Shinnyo in Honolulu. Tonight, this is Shinnyo Lantern Floating, Hawaii.
Au e ka wena o ke au I ka lani he weke weke I ka pō pili pukai. He elele o ka poni poni hiki na kau ke ka he awana au I ka ala a papa. La ia na I luna o ke kukulu o ka lanila. O ka uia e hulu I huli alo nei I ka ulu e ai. Wow, Ho maila ko mala mai ka honua nei ka mauliola. Wow, Hawaii ke oli no nei mai ka pina ke velona kala. Ka hiko ia I ka ike mano mano. Ka ike koli umai o kikilo mai. O ka uno ia o ka pulama, a paamaka I pu o ka ike ai, wau He mele no Hawaii uau. Kapuna mai ho inana mana e veve o ke au kanaka ka wo mai ke kupu kupu nuia e ila hala I ukala no I kai ila uhala puni da honuala e ye hala Mana mailana mano ai o uka a ka he ka wai o la ina o Hawaii o uli e ala e
na makai ke awa kea. Ka he awai kana wa o ka aina. Ka he awai kana kai ke ala o te ola e, ala e, ala e,
Lei nei moku ola I ke kailalaha.
Nei nei moku ola I ke kailalaha. E nehe mai ana I te ae one. A he lihi huka kai ko ka muli mai. I ke ahe ana aku I ka moana. Mano mano ka Hawaii puni ka moana nui e. Ala e, ala e,
Ewe! He mele no kalei moana.
In April of 2022, we lost our friend and mentor, Pono Shim. Pono learned the deeper meanings of aloha from his auntie, Pilahi Paki, a renowned native Hawaiian elder known as a keeper of Hawaii's secrets. For her, aloha was much more than a word. It was a practice, a lifestyle. Pono accepted this wisdom from Auntie Pilahi and lived his life in aloha. Pono Shim showed us how to find the aloha that is already inside of us and helped us to live it.
I believe that because of Hawaii, because of where we are, that there's this very, very profound sense of caring. The first folks who came here left a place that probably was safe, maybe not, but they journeyed a very long distance. I mean, this is the most isolated archipelago in the world. There's a profound sense of caring because we are so isolated, because we are so multi-ethnic, because there's been so much struggle, and because the people who came had to find ways that we could work together and care for each other. Auntie Pilahi Paki taught me in the 21st century the world search for peace, and they'll look to Hawaii because Hawaii has a key, the key, and that key is aloha.
So Pono Shim, he's a friend and a mentor and a teacher, a practitioner of aloha in as many ways as I can think of. And he lived in that, and believed that a world full of aloha would be the key to world peace. We're all healing from something. Every single one of us is healing from something. I think what Uncle Pono offers the world is the perspective beyond that, which is if we are all healing from something, that means that we are all medicine keepers. We are all capable of healing. We're all capable of helping to support the healing of others. We are all capable of bringing incredible joy and incredible peace and incredible compassion and kindness to the world. We're also probably all capable of doing not so great things, right? And so I think it's knowing, if we know that we are all healing from something, and we know that we are all carrying medicine, then we also know that we can all work together or contribute to a whole and healed planet, right? So that we don't see the divides between people, so that we look at people not for their trauma, but for their medicine and their gifts. We are an ongoing braid of every single person that has ever been a part of our lives. We are the collection of teachings and love and wisdom that has been provided from all of the ancestors that conspired or joined together to create us, right? Like, we are elemental. We are water and light. And I think in a way, a Pono Shim existed in a place like Hawaii because we are surrounded by water. And so this very beautiful place that he called home, that he draws his lineage to, that he is indigenous to, like, he helped us all to see the healing potential that is Hawaii, that is aloha. But really, it's in all ancestral homelands, right? And it's in the ocean that is the same ocean that connects every single person on the entire planet. I am a representation today of every single person that has come before me and allowed me to be here. And I am the portal to the future me and to all the people that I will cross paths with, and that our journeys will shape each other's, and we will braid together a tapestry, I hope, of aloha that continues to find its way around the world.
One thing that Auntie Pilahi did, she gave people names. Of course. Go to her to name your children or your grandchildren. So people went to her. What does my name really mean? And she told me that there was one word she would never define for me. And she said that word is pono. And she said, you will live your life, and when you're pau, people will know what it means.
In 1970, Master Shinzo Ito, founder of Shinnyo, visited the Arizona Memorial at Pearl Harbor with his daughter Shinzo Ito. Together they prayed in this memorial to peace, holding quiet space over a sunken ship of war. Master Shinjo chronicled that day in his journal. He wrote of the beauty of Hawaii, the sorrow of war, the reverent memorials to the fallen, and as he wrote, the images and memories awakened a wish to conduct a rite of healing and comfort. That wish became lantern floating.
At last, we are in Honolulu.
We headed directly to Pearl Harbor. We wanted to visit the Arizona Memorial to pay our respects.
I joined Master Shinjo on his travels to the North American mainland and Hawaii. That was my first trip outside of Japan.
On December 7th, 1941, war broke out between the United States and Japan. Our naval air troops made a surprise attack on Pearl Harbor, sinking many ships. The USS Arizona was one of them. The Arizona remains under sea. Above it stands a memorial as white as alabaster. The names of the fallen entombed in the ship are engraved on one wall. We offered a wreath of flowers and prayed in silence. I am truly and deeply sorry. This was all I could say in prayer. Any attempt for words beyond that failed, but I extended to the fullest my sincerest prayers to the fallen.
Shinjo writes in his journals that on reflection, our travels this time to the United States were marked with offering prayers transcending notions of us versus them. He returned to Japan inspired with his wish to offer an opportunity for all of us to pause and show our care equally for all humanity. All of us may harbor feelings of bitterness, conflict, or animosity, but Shinjo's conviction was that in the tradition of Shinnyo, we should practice caring for others and pray that the fruit of our positive thoughts and actions will reach others equally.
That night, As I listened to the sound of waves along the shores of Waikiki, I continued to think about what we hoped to accomplish in Hawaii. What remained in my mind's eye was the Arizona Memorial. I'm ready to work so that we might have a deeper understanding of each other's backgrounds and experiences. In regards to Hawaii, the focus of our efforts must always lie in extending our prayers equally and in oneness to all spirits. In this respect, the prayers we offered at the Arizona Memorial will always remain central to what we wish to achieve.
Shinnyo had an ancestor who erected a stone memorial for all war dead, regardless of the side they fought on. Masters Shinnyo and Tomoji continued to look for ways to help people to find healing and comfort in a world filled with conflict. I feel very thankful for their profound wish and for the path they left for us to fulfill it.
Together with our spiritual community, I hope to work tirelessly for the healing and reconciliation of all souls. As this wish filled my mind, my heart leapt at the thought of it.
This is what led to Shinnyo Lantern Floating Hawaii. But this could not have happened overnight. We had to first build relationships within the community and create a space where all could come together in a shared spirit of remembrance. As a Shinnyo-en community, we began our efforts by engaging in rites at our local temple. We could never have imagined doing something oceanside. I believe that Shinjo's intent, that all of us come together for a single moment without any distinction between friend or foe, has been brought to its fullest fruition today. Holding the lantern floating in the ocean expresses transcendence of boundaries, offers space to build harmony for all, and allows our efforts to ripple outwards in boundless ways. I had always hoped that if we were to hold a lantern floating, we could do it in the ocean.
Imagine crossing the oceans to conduct a rite of healing and comfort for the repose of all, equally and without distinction. I believe that our efforts will steadily bear fruit from here in Hawaii.
Since the very first Shinnyo lantern floating in Hawaii, the main lanterns have been floated, carrying collective prayers for all life, for all time. And though the main lanterns have not floated since 2019, they have patiently waited to once again touch the waters of the Pacific Ocean. Through a worldwide pandemic, through a time of immense sorrow and suffering, the main lanterns have waited for this moment. And for those who have been forgotten, for those who live in solitude with no one to pray for them, for all of us who are looking to heal or to be healed, the infinite light of the main lanterns is once again reflecting on the water, carrying prayers of spiritual comfort for all. And now we join Her Holiness, Shinso Ito, live from Tokyo, Japan. Her Holiness will now bless the main lanterns in Hawaii from Tokyo. As she sends her blessing for all who are being remembered tonight, let us all reflect on the many gifts we have in our lives, offer gratitude for all who have watched over us, and honor them with our actions. In the light of the lanterns, we find love, courage, and the dreams of our loved ones. As we breathe in the joy and peace of this moment, may we each find space to heal. On behalf of everyone at Shinnyo, mahalo for joining us. Aloha.